That sounded good. Ah. All right. All right. I should learn to play this thing. Everyone's like, yeah. Yeah, you should. Let's give it a few minutes. People are coming in, and you guys are here. Feels good. I like this. It's weird with it open, though, isn't it? Yeah, but tomorrow there's a large bar mitzvah. So, but I'll tell these guys to kind of be aware. How about that? All right. Terry, you feeling good? I've been sending you so many vibes. For sure. Oh, it's great. LA. But here, I don't want to talk about it over the microphone. It's all good. Just now? Oh my gosh. All right, let me go. Here we get comfortable. Meet people from Lebanon. They're actually from Lebanon, Illinois. Do people do that to you guys a lot, or is that not really? There are a lot of Lebanons. I've been to Lebanon, Indiana in my lifetime. I have. What's that? Lebanon. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's how they, just like Shoto. It's Eileen and Steve. Hi, guys. I miss you guys. special guest about to arrive. Some of you will remember. Actually, who remembers Julie Cooper? She moved away, and she's coming back to visit. So she'll be here soon. So everyone now you remember her, because she'll feel so good that she's been re-remembered. She'll be here she'll sit in the back with Karen. That's not them, by the way. Shabbat shalom. Hello, Steph. Hey, everyone, take a look around and kind of size up who you're here with. This is our community for the next bunch of moments to bring in Shabbat. Literally, this service is Kabbalat Shabbat. It means to receive the Sabbath. So it's kind of our responsibility, right? Because if nobody was aware that it was Sabbath, then, it still would be Sabbath, but there wouldn't be much observance going on. But it's also a privilege, right? It gives us a little time and space to breathe and to come together and do some singing and feeling our way to being our best selves, to holiness. So it's kind of upon us to receive this idea. I love the teaching by Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel of blessed memory, who said, you don't even need a building to receive Shabbat. It's good that we have one, by the way. It's really good. But you don't even need one, because Shabbat isn't made, it's a castle, he said, that's not made out of building materials. What's it made out of? Time. The time that's carved out for holiness and for renewal and for prayer and for connection. And for all the things that, during the week, we might be too busy for. And the week is really important. We get things done during the week. But it's balanced by this idea of Shabbos. And my friends from St. Paul, from Lebanon, Illinois, just so you know, it's really kind of an interesting thing that the weekend, the concept of the weekend, which is such a gift, right? You guys are confirmation students, right? We have 7th graders or 8th? Oh, see, I was right both times. 7th and 8th, right? So the weekend, which I'm sure you guys like the weekend, right? Aren't you glad you're spending it here with us too? Or at least part of it. Comes really kind of is an outgrowth of this biblical idea of Sabbath, of Shabbat, Because there was a time we believed that nobody let anybody rest, especially the bosses, that there was no relief from work. And then there was this idea coming from the Torah that said, no, we need a whole day of just for the soul. And that's what we have now, And thank goodness, because we wouldn't be fully human if all we did was do. Doing is important, but sometimes we just have to be. And that's the gift that we have. And so I'm glad to be here with all of you. Whatever brought you here, and I know it's always different, and for some people it's a few different things, but it's always different. But whatever it is that brought you here today, even if it's just because your confirmation class said, come on, we're coming to synagogue today. All that if you're praying for somebody, or you're remembering somebody, or you just need a little shalom. Now we're all here together, a Shabbat community. So one of the things we do is sing. It kind of helps lift our spirits, and we lift each other's spirits. So you could turn to page 4. All the stuff I said about building a sanctuary at a time, that's in pages 1, 2, and 3. So you can go back and it's actually not. Pages 1, 2, and 3 are whatever I want them to be on Friday night. Now we're on the pages, page 4. And we open with some melodies. This is Leslie Kaplan, who I love when Leslie says, when you sing, you pray twice. Isn't that what you say, Leslie? Right? Kind of elevates. Whatever it is we're saying gets elevated when we sing. And you don't have to, everyone sounds good, trust me, because we're singing together. So if you feel good about it, lifting your voice, we have sort of 3 melodies, and they're all kind of connected to start the service. The first one doesn't even have any words, so you don't have to know any Hebrew, and you don't even have to sing any English, just lai, just to kind of get us moving, our spirits moving, and kind of listening to ourselves and listening to each other. And then we have sets of words. So you see where it says house of prayer. That is an English translation from the book of Isaiah, from the Hebrew Bible. And then finally, in its original Hebrew, is a line from the Psalms. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad, which means everything I've been saying in such a more poetic way. It says how good it is to be together. For whatever reason you're here, now lift up your eyes and recognize how good it is that we're all here together. The people you know and the people you haven't met yet. I think is Julie here? Julie Cooper. You guys, it's Julie Cooper. Long time no see. We're glad you're back. Where are you living these days? Oh, I was. Wow, but I'm glad we're here. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, good. We're glad you're back to visit. Did you get to check out the labyrinth? Not yet. After. It's better at night. Okay. Deep breath, everybody. Nishima Amukha. Breathe in everything that's good and high and holy and hopeful about this moment of receiving the Sabbath. Yai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai. Yai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai. The words of Isaiah, and they shall come to my holy mountain and rejoice in my house of prayer. My house shall be a house of prayer for all peoples. My house shall be a house of prayer for all peoples, and they shall come to my holy mountain and rejoice in my house of prayer. My house shall be a house of prayer for all peoples. My house shall be a house of prayer for all peoples. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is and how pleasant when we, a group of brothers and sisters, family, when we sit together in peace, God willing, and harmony. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov שבת אחי גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחי גם יחד. Amen. So it is custom, it's tradition, it's even, a mitzvah to begin the Sabbath in the Jewish tradition by lighting candles. And in homes all over the world and in synagogues, candles are lit to welcome Shabbat. And so we also, every Friday night, we light those candles, and whether you're here or not here, I hope you feel the light and the warmth and the glow from our candles, because we hope they reach everywhere they need to go. And so it's really an honor and privilege to have my friend Sarah Kirshner and Maddie. Will you guys come up to light candles? And I think many people know Sarah is our interim executive director, and we're so grateful for you. Leslie's very grateful. And also, I know the two of you are thinking also west to San Diego. Baby Oslo, your grandbaby, Sarah, has been born, which is a big mazel, but is also in the NICU. And I feel like I was just there, and I know that there's just healing in the air. And so we are keeping our hearts open. This is springtime, which is about hope and renewal and Passover that's coming. And just can't wait to hear all about Oslo. What a great name! Someday you'll give me the etymology, but it's all about peace, right? Oslo, peace. So for baby Oslo, so these lights are not only for the Sabbath, because light isn't restricted, right? Light kind of is once it's lit, it's in our imagination. So let this light also be a light for your guys and your family, and for little Oslo to become his fullest self, his best self. So I have to say something about the lighting on a kind of a different sort of mood. We have a wonderful member named Steve Skrenka, and Steve was a past president of the synagogue, and I just got an email just this afternoon that Steve Skrenka has gifted us, and he's watching. He's gifted us with this. It's an environmentally friendly electric lighter. And it works. I tested it. If it doesn't, Steve will understand, we'll learn, but will you try it, Sarah or Maddie? I want to. Okay, so I'm telling you. Okay, oh yeah, okay. So there's a button. I'm so embarrassed. Oh yeah. Yeah, so just kind of, let's check it out. So you just press that button, and it's supposed to just kind of, let's just. You ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, is it zapping? Here, you go. The little bottom button, see it? Oh. Amazing. Wow. And do the other one too. I already feel more environmentally friendly.
How could you feel more environmentally?
Look at that. I don't know. Yeah, we're going to talk, we'll use the matches. Steve Skrenka, thank you.
We'll learn how to do it.
Steve will come here and give us a tutorial. So you light those candles, Sarah, take your time. On page 4, we're still on page 4 at the bottom. You see where it says candle lighting song? Let's sing. Let's send that light out wherever it needs to go, to all the people and places that could use extra light and extra love, to Oslo, sending it to you, Terry, for your upcoming surgery, for everyone who needs more light, people we don't even know. So let's sing this first, and then the blessing with Leslie. Hear our prayers, we sing to you. Be gracious to the ones we love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace Oh, hear our prayers to you. Let us light these lights and see our way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see our way to you, and let us say Amen. And now with Sarah and Maddie and the whole community and people watching us on the stream, let's spread that light around that you just gave to us, that you gave to the world for Shabbat, and let's sing with Leslie the bracha, the official blessing for this mitzvah we're all participating in of lighting candles to welcome the Sabbath.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshon b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. V'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat shalom. Oh, I also want to send that light up the road to my friend Gary Sewell, who I just came from. Are they related? I didn't even, Naomi, I never put that together. Well, I just saw him. He's at Siteman. Yeah, and we had a good visit, and even the doctor called while I was there, which felt good, and gave him some hopeful news. So, but I told him we would send our light also up Kings Highway, or actually down Kings Highway to him. So, for all the people that need light, for Israel and Gaza and all the places that could use the light and the healing light of Shabbat, let us say Amen. And Shabbat Shalom to the people that are watching us on stream from wherever you are. We're glad that we're able to kind of connect this way. We have Michael and Chelsea in the booth, making sure that we can be seen and heard. So let's go to page 6, shall we? Every once in a while. This is a traditional Shabbat song that's often sung at Shabbat dinners. So sometimes people have Shabbat dinner and then they come to synagogue. Sometimes people go to synagogue and they go to Shabbat dinner. Sometimes people have Shabbat dinner and they never ever get to synagogue. But either way, Shalom Aleichem is one of those songs that is sung around a table. You know, the Yiddish word for table is tish. Has anyone heard that word? Tish. It's a really great kind of Jewish Yiddish word. And the idea is to sing Shalom Aleichem around the table so you can kind of use the table as a drum. So I'm the only one with a table around here right now. So I'll kind of try to tap it out. But this is another welcome Shabbat song, a song about spreading peace. Shalom Aleichem. That ending is plural, so it means shalom not only to everybody here, but people beyond our boundaries. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom to all. Peace and greetings to everybody. It goes like this. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Olechem l'shalom, Malachei hashalom, Malachei elyon. Mi melech, Malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni l'shalom, Malachei hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Se'atchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's a synagogue in Sudbury, Massachusetts. The rabbi for a long, I think the founding rabbi was Lawrence Kushner. He's a well-known writer, and really, in his retirement, he's been painting. But I went to his synagogue once because my wife is from the area, and he was one of my professors at rabbinical school. And they actually have their Friday night service around a table, around a tish. The first bunch of people that get there get to sit around the table, and they get to do what I was just doing and kind of use the table as a study table. It's a very interesting concept. I think, Stephanie, he was here early on as a scholar in residence, right? And I remember Susan telling me that he talked about tent pegs, putting down tent pegs, and that was sort of one of our paradigms for creating the synagogue. So, yeah.
So his daughter,
Yeah, go ahead.
his daughter is Sam's rabbi.
Oh my gosh. And she was in school with Noah.
Yeah.
We were in school together. Wow. She's lovely. And she's a poet, I believe. Yeah. Talented family. So let's turn now to page 10. And if you're able, please stand. This is our call to prayer. The Baruch Hu. The words of the Baruch Hu are actually on page 11, and there's some English words that have been added kind of in a contemporary prayer song. And I'll read them to you, and then you'll sing them with me. They're not that hard to remember. It's about awakening, which is a great Friday night concept. You would think, oh, he just awoke. I did. You would think that, we would talk about awakening at the morning service tomorrow. But no, it's very wise. The Friday night service, the evening service, also says anytime's a time to be more awake, right? More alert and more present. Dare I say, more woke. Just saying. But that's what it's about. It's about being more present, even at night, even just a few hours before we go to sleep. Any time is a time to be more aware of ourselves, aware of each other, aware of the divine presence, whatever that means to you. And so, am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada lai lai lai, 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 yada lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada lai lai lai, 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 yada lai lai lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai. Yalla lie, lie, lie. Yalla lie, lie, lie. Yalla lie, lie, lie. Yalla lie, lie, lie. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Please be seated. Just want to sing a refrain from the prayer on page 12, which is the creation nature prayer that's both in the morning service and the evening service in different forms. In the morning, it's Yotzer Or, all about light. In the evening service, it's Ma'aravim, the coming of the evening, which, if you look out the window, evening is nigh, as they say. What's that, Steve? Well, actually, it's funny. I was about to talk about the eclipse, actually, because whatever your experience was, there's something really wondrous when the natural world excites people. It just feels so rooted and grounded. And there was something just so holy the other day. Even if you didn't witness it, just to read about it and to watch people looking up, it's so sort of magical and wondrous, even though it's totally rational and it has an explanation. You can both have science and mystery. That's what this teaches us, right? It doesn't have to be one or the other. It doesn't have to be religion or spirituality or science. It could be both, and we had both. It was very spiritual for people, but it was also quite rooted in facts and knowledge. And so I like to think those big events, and they're whatever it is, like people see the northern lights or the eclipse or the things that are really sort of magnificent, maybe also reminds us that it doesn't have to always be grand to find holiness in the natural world, right? Just the sunrise, the sunset, walking off the concrete onto grass. I'm looking at my friend Vicky, who lives this life and breathes it. And it's holy, it's healing. So maybe this eclipse moment that was so kind of, just otherworldly and joyful and beautiful can teach us to pay more attention, increased attention. And some of us do and some of us don't, but maybe to whatever level we're at, to bring it up another notch and just find something in nature, on a daily and a weekly and a monthly basis, because it really does, just like the eclipse moment, it really does lift us up and kind of brings us out of some of the day-to-day mundane kind of things we deal with that we need to deal with, but nature does tend to elevate us. So we have these prayers from the natural world in our tradition. This one, what I'd like to do is just sing that English refrain that has the Hebrew title of the prayer, Ma'ariv Aravim, which means the arrival of the evening. Perfectly timed. The candles have been lit. Daylight is slowly fading to be replaced by nighttime, and we're in this wonderful moment of mixture. And that's really what Aravim means. Arav, the word for evening, is a Hebrew word for mixture, because evening is a mixture of the gifts of the day and the gifts of the night. So sing with me, and Leslie. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives, Ma'ariv, Haravim, Amen. Ma'ariv, Haravim, Amen. That same Rabbi Heschel who talked about who talked about Sabbath as a sanctuary built out of time, also had kind of created this concept called radical amazement. Radical amazement. So I'm really glad the world, or at least the parts of the world that were exposed to the eclipse, got to share some moments of radical amazement. It really is good for the soul. So the next preparation for the Shema, which is where we're at. This is not in your prayer book, but you'll catch on if you don't know it. It has a chorus that's really easy. In fact, there's one word in the chorus, and it gets us ready for singing the Shema. One love for each other, sisters, brothers, and siblings. We're one, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other, singing one, 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 oh, one, 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 one love, one blood, one heart, one soul, one drum, one rhythm, one tribe, and all of us singing one. One. There you go. Keep going. One. One. Oh yeah. One. 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 Love is the temple. Love the higher law. Love is the temple. Love the highest law. Love is the temple. Love the higher law. Love is the temple. Love the highest law. Singing one. Yeah, one. We're one. One. One more time. Oh, one. Which leads us to the last Hebrew word of the Shema, Echad, right from the Torah that Charlie Levine will read from tomorrow when he becomes bar mitzvah, contains this phrase that we've lifted out of the Torah. And many of us carry these words in our heart when we're scared, when we need extra strength and extra love and extra goodness, when we want to connect to people who are all the way across the country, right, like in California. That word one makes us know that we're with them and they're with us. Even people we'll never meet, one. God is one, so all creation is one. And so if it's your custom to stand as you recite the Shema, chant the Shema, I invite you to stand. It's also customary in many Jewish communities to stay seated. It looks like sitting wins. All right. Good. It's good. That's a whole nother story, why sitting, standing, but it's, you guys are, okay. That's all right. Because we're one, whether we're sitting or standing or, whatever it is that's inside of us right now. When people are suffering and we know about it, we suffer too. When people are joyful, and we know about it, we're joyful too. That's how we know we really are one. That empathy, that we all have potential to connect in that way. One with each other, one with the natural world, and one with godliness. That part of creation that ties it all together. Something larger than ourselves that we can all connect to. So I invite you to take another deep breath, a nishima amukha. Breathe into your heart and soul and, your best self. When you breathe out, you can breathe out the schmutz, everything that's blocking you from being present, from being your best self, from feeling that sense of renewal and hope. And let's all sing the words on page 15, Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated if you're standing. We're continuing together on page 16. These are the words that follow the Shema in the Torah scroll, and so they also follow the Shema in our Siddur. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lektecha v'derech ושוקבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפו בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen. Page 18, my friends. This is one of two redemption prayers after the Shema. In the evening, in the morning there's only this one. In the evening there's another one that is added. But this is a great redemption passage. It comes from the story that we'll all be turning to in the Jewish world in just 10 days. Passover is coming. Whether you're ready or not, Passover is coming. And when I got home from my little trip, I saw Amy had already started compiling, matzah, and pretty much just matzah. Because that's all we get, isn't it? But this is what it is. This is the story in a nutshell. This is the freedom part. Micha mocha. In Passover, we go back to slavery and get to freedom. We have a whole night, right? We have a whole Seder, we have a whole dinner. But in services, we cut right to freedom. So that's a pretty good deal. So for our own freedom, for the freedom of people who are oppressed and marginalized, we sing this original, or at least one of the original songs of freedom, Micha mocha, from the Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea. Yai lai 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 ya lai 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 yai lai 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 ya lai 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 yai lai 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 ya lai 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 ya lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 ya lai yai lai 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 yai lai lai yai lai yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai 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 micha mocha ba'elim Adonai micha mocha neder b'kodesh norat hila hosei pele yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai lai yai lai yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai 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 yai loch le'olam va'ed yai loch le'olam va'ed yai loch le'olam va'ed le'olam va'ed yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai 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 yai lai lai yai lai yai lai 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 yai lai lai yai lai lai lai. Yeah, good timbral playing, Leslie. Page 20. Julie, I missed your singing on Hashkivenos. I'm glad you're here to sing with us. Another redemption prayer in the evening service is Hashkivenu, specifically in the evening because it references going to sleep, closing your eyes, and the hope that we can go to sleep. It says Lishalom, in peace, so we can wake up L'chaim, to life. That's literally what the prayer says. We go to sleep, we hope, in peace, so we can wake up to more life. And in between, we get rest and hopefully renewal, some resolution from the strife of the day, maybe even some clarity through your dreams, and then to wake up again, God willing, to another day. It's a very hopeful prayer. That's the essence of it. That through our body chemistry and the physiology of rest, we can be renewed. And so in a sense, every night can give us hope for the next day. A whole nother day to kind of maybe speak kinder words and do more mitzvahs. Whatever happened the day before can get redeemed the next day. That's the power of this prayer and the power of rest. But also, it's the season of hope. Spring has sprung and we're planting in our garden. Maybe you're planting in your garden. And it does feel like new life, new possibility. And we just had Rosh Chodesh. We just had the new moon, the new month of Nisan. Nisan comes from that Hebrew word nes. You might remember it from Hanukkah. Nes means miracle. So this is supposed to be a month of miracles, which is why it's the month of Passover, which is why Passover has to be in the spring. We have a lunar calendar, and if we didn't have that leap month, that extra month of Adar like we had this year, we have every so often, Passover could be in the fall or the summer, just like, Ramadan, the Muslim holy day. Ramadan can occur during any season, but not Passover, because we correct the calendar to make sure the season of hope corresponds to the holiday of hope. And that it should give us inspiration. That things can seem really dark and really challenging and really difficult. But our stories and our prayers and nature teaches us there's always that possibility. And if we're bold enough, maybe the probability that we can overcome those challenges and feel better and do better and live better. That's this time of year. So the month has just begun. The moon is still a sliver. There's so much potential to be more free, to help free others, to turn a corner, to get better in so many ways. And that's this prayer. And we can't just sing it for ourselves, we sing it for each other. We sing it for those who need it the most, and we sing it for a world redeemed, God willing, soon. Take this soul, living in my skin and bones. Take this soul and let it sing. Yahweh, Yahweh, always pain before a child is born. Yahweh, Yahweh, it's always dark before the dawn. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Everything's gonna be alright. Come on. Everything's gotta be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be. Sing it for yourself. Everything's gonna be all. Sing it for others. Everything's gonna be. Sing it for the world. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gotta be alright. Ufros aleinu sukkot. Sukkot shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, and cover over us tonight with a sukkot shalom, a shelter of peace for you, for those you love. A sukkot shalom over all creation, over everyone and everything that dwells on earth. May this night, where we gather together to receive and welcome the Shabbat, may this night lift us up and allow us to feel that redemption that is the promise of the prayer. Amen. Let's turn to page 23. And if you're able, please stand for this one. This next group of prayers on Friday night has become our custom at CRC to pray mostly silently. So we give each other and ourselves the benefit of a little just sort of reflection time and meditation time. Whatever it is that you need to feel and think and say to yourself, this is a time. We begin together with the words on page 23, another psalm. The service fittingly is filled with sections of the book of Psalms from the Hebrew Bible because it's poetry. Many people believe it was meant to be sung anyway, so we put a lot of these biblical words to music. This one is the Psalm of Opening. Patach is the Hebrew word for open, liftoch, to open. And so I like to think of open mouths, which is what the prayer says, that our mouths should be open to say kind words, and healing words to each other. But also open doors. Thank goodness we could open our doors to everyone. Thank goodness we have wonderful James to make sure we're safe and protected, and so we can be open. Open minds and open hearts and open souls. Open arms to embrace and welcome each other. So this is the Psalm of Opening. And then take a little bit of time for some silent prayer. When you're through, have a seat. And when everyone's seated, we'll do one more song from this section of prayers, a prayer for peace, which we can all use, always. Ya lai la lai la lai lai Adonai. Ya lai la lai sefatai tifta. Ya lai la lai ufi agi Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. I la 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 Adonai. Ya la 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 Sifatai Tika. Ya la la Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. I la la Adonai. Ya la Sifatai Tika. Ya la Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. La Adonai. Ya la Sifatai Tifta. Ya la Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Felt your prayers. I felt them. Such a holy moment, that silence, you know. Even if there's rustling and when we have kids here, like, it's all okay because there's something just really beautiful about that intentionality. I felt those prayers going every which way, wherever you were pointing them towards. When I turn around, I always like to look at those 7 square windows that were so intentionally created when this building was built almost 24 years ago. 7, this number that connotes wholeness. And so I love turning around and seeing those 7 square windows and feeling the wholeness of the moment, because really the only time I do that is during those silent prayers when I turn and face east along with the rest of you. So appreciate all of those prayers, and hope that our deepest prayers for healing and for peace come to fruition. There's a windy road, and sometimes it goes backwards and forwards, but we can get there together. And so that's why I want to now just go to page 31. And just sing this again, this Olam Chesed. This is another contemporary prayer written by a rabbi out in Berkeley, California. It's kind of caught on. It's sung, it was only written, 20 years ago, and it's sung at many synagogues and many, even in interfaith settings, protest. I'll have to tell the story, our friend KB. You know, KB's getting ordained in May. KB's going to be, I know, isn't that awesome? I know. So, and KB actually called me, and he's interviewing for jobs, and, it's going to be, Reverend, when you were here, did you remember KB? No, he's connected with a lot of Eden students. Anyway, he's going to be ordained a Reconstructionist rabbi, And so we'll try to find a way to celebrate that. Maybe KB will come into town and we can have a wonderful celebration. But there's a YouTube video of KB leading this group in this song at the U.S. Capitol during the protests against the immigration policies in the last administration. And this whole group of people, all different ethnicities and racial backgrounds and religions, were all singing Olam Chesed Yibaneh, for a better world, to create a world that's more hopeful and more peaceful and more just. And it's a heartbreaking time in the world, and there's a lot of places that you can pick when it comes to heartbreaking. But I'm obviously thinking about the hostages. It's hard to even fathom this amount of time. About the people of Gaza and the bombardment, and any morally thinking person, any compassionate person, doesn't choose sides in a situation like that. You just feel excruciating pain for everyone who's going through what everyone is going through. And so Olam Chesed Yibaneh says there must be a path to a world that's more filled with love. And if we can go on that path, then perhaps we can truly feel transformation and see it and know that we're getting there. We might never reach there fully, but we can be on that path. So that's Olam Chesed Yibaneh. So
Page 31.
thank you. Okay. Olam is world, chesed is kindness, and gimilut chasadim is a term in prayer that means loving kindness. And yibaneh is the verb to build, right? So we can build a world with more chesed. Olam. Hold on.
Oh, thanks.
That was for you, Leslie. Olam chesed yivaneh, yadadai, yadadai. Olam chesed yivaneh, yadadai, yadadai. Olam chesed yivaneh, yadadai, yadadai. Olam chesed yivaneh, yadadai. I will build this world. I will build this world from love. Yadadai. And you must build this world from love. Yadadai. And if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love. Olam chesed yibane. Yada da da da, yada da da, yada da da. Olam chesed yibane. Yada da da, yada da da, yada da da. Olam chesed yibane. Yada da da, yada da da, yada da da. Olam chesed yibane. Yada da da, yada da da. Olam chesed yibane. Yada da da da, yada da da. That term tikkun olam that we, kind of live and breathe in liberal Judaism, it actually started as not like big change the world fixes, which are really important, but like little things that can tip the balance. It's from the Talmud. Well, yeah, it comes from the Talmud. It's used in the Aleinu prayer. But I was thinking to myself, like, this little capo kind of was a little tikkun there. We wouldn't be able to sing that prayer without this guy. I want to find out who invented the capo. You guys, confirmation students, you have more homework. Do you remember your first assignment? You remember. I won't even say it in the microphone, but okay. It was, no, because I ref, so, who invented the capo? Will you guys do that for me? No, not yet. Wait. So do you guys have like a confirmation ceremony? When is it? It is May 19th. Oh, that's one. Ours is, I think, May, whatever the Saturday is, 10th. So, our Pentecost. You're right, for Shavuos, right. Beautiful. So what happens at your confirmation service?
I think one of the most special things that happens is the laying of the hands on the confirmants, all the family members.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Laying hands as we say the prayer.
Yeah.
People, the communion, obviously.
Right.
Their faith statements, which they have
Oh yeah.
to read their faith statements.
Faith statements.
We're working on them very hard.
Oh, beautiful. Well, that's wonderful. Well, congratulations. We say Mazel Tov. Our confirmation students all write about their Jewish journey so far and where it might take them next, because they're actually 16. So they're sort of starting to get really independent and kind of starting to think what the next chapter is. So we'll be thinking about you guys at your confirmation and think about we've got great kids here as well. So thanks so much for coming. That's Reverend Todd Bean, right? Reverend Todd. So Lebanon, Illinois. We're so glad you guys came. So before we kind of close with Kaddish, I do want to make sure we say a healing prayer. I know there's a lot of people here who are praying for healing. Oh, hi, Leslie. Thank you for anticipating that. A lot of people here praying for healing for themselves and for others. We have people here who are having upcoming surgeries and dealing with all kinds of issues. And, we say we want it to be healing of mind and body and spirit. So it's not just physical healing, right? It's emotional healing. And we could all use, some of that. Refuah, shlema, complete healing. So I'm thinking about Gary up the street and think about Oslo for healing, to be able to live his life, that's all in front of him and all in front of your family. I know, Sarah, you're going to be going out there soon. And so we want to send you with blessings. It's just for everyone, for people we might never meet. Probably most of them we won't meet, but we think about them when we sing this prayer that Leslie is preparing us. It's on page 34. It's our kind of both a traditional healing prayer with some contemporary words by the wonderful liturgist Debbie Friedman of blessed memory, who really brought Jewish prayer a new life. She really did. And so for all those that need healing, I've got some names here. Ken Tamangu, who's Patrick's father, Rachel's father-in-law. We love the Tamangus. And Oslo Kirshner is here on this healing list. And Bet Miller, who is Jen Hillman's mother. We're praying for Bet. And Ellen Langston, who had a kidney transplant. Shalom Melech ben Jan, who is Becky's brother-in-law, Sally Fox, and Terry, you're on here. You're on our healing list. We're sending out our prayers. You're welcome. You're welcome. We're thinking about you. And Gary Sewell, as I mentioned. So, and whoever it is that you're thinking of, that you're praying for, let's sing this. Misha Barak, the one that blessed those that came before us, our ancestors, should bless us and those we love and all who are ill with healing. Mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Shebera imotenu mikor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Right there in the middle of page 34 is the part of the prayer we call the chatimah, the signature, literally, of the prayer, or the part of the prayer that seals it. We hope and pray for those we love and all those who need healing. Let's say together, Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. Blessed is the Holy One who teaches us ways to be healing agents or angels to bring healing to those who are ill. And let us say, Amen. So just a couple of announcements. Tomorrow morning there is a Shabbat service. It is the bar mitzvah of Charles Levine, Scott and Margaretta's son. You'll notice I didn't mention the Torah portion tonight. That's because it's Tazria, all about leprosy, and I'm going to leave that for Charlie. He's going to tell you all about it. But the amazing thing about Tazria is that, amazing, but it's just sort of intriguing, is that, it's almost always in this time of year. And if you remember 4 years ago, what we were all going through with the lockdown and isolation and the really beginnings of the pandemic, here comes the Torah portion that's all about quarantining. It was really like one of those moments where you just sort of like, wow, that's coincidental in the extreme, that everyone was talking about isolating and quarantining, and that was the Torah portion of the week. So if you want to tune in or come back for Charlie and see what he has to say about Tazria, that's 10 o'clock tomorrow, with a lunch afterwards for the congregation and all the people that are going to be here for Charlie. Passover is coming. There's a lot of Passover events. I know we haven't had a women's Seder for quite a few years, but it's back, which is very exciting. Rabbi Karen is working hard on creating with some wonderful people a great women's Seder. We do have a second Seder, though I think we're close. Yeah, so we'll have a wonderful. You see, but you can watch it. We were just talking with Michael and Chelsea about the streaming of the second Seder. Grab a box of matzah, sit down in front of your computer, and join us. It'll be great. Dayenu. It'd be enough. Lots of opportunities for adult education and serving the community through social action and social justice. We've got a great website, and most of you are probably receive the weekly, now twice a week, announcements about things that are going on in CRC and in the community, so check that out. I also have to do this because tomorrow there's something else special happening besides Charlie's bar mitzvah. Is it okay, Karen, if I announce? Karen Foddy's son, John Wesley, is having a ceremony to celebrate him becoming an Eagle Scout, which is just amazing. I mean, just like every time I think of it, I'm overwhelmed by what an achievement that is. I think I know like maybe 5 Eagle Scouts, and now John Wesley. So Mazel Tov, and really, and he's such a mensch. So that's really exciting. That's happening. Does anyone have any other CRC related? I know there's a great Passover event with Brothers Lazaroff and Rabbi Jim has anyone been to the City Winery? Oh, Naomi hasn't. Not yet. Oh, not here. That's a great venue, you guys. Karen's been there. Really great venue. It's over at the Foundry. But Rabbi Jim and the Brothers Lazaroff are putting together kind of an alternative sort of Passover experience. And it's Thursday, a week from Thursday. So check that out. That's also on our announcements on the website. So really great Passover stuff coming up. Is it this Thursday? Thank you. Before right, of course. Thank you. 17th, 18th. But it is this Thursday. So go ahead. Fundraiser for the Jewish Light. Wonderful. So Passover experience at the City Winery this Thursday. Check it out. Should be great. Okay. But yes, please.
Yeah, Rabbi Brenda had said that on Sunday afternoon before the Seder, we're going to have some gathering to prepare the kitchen and so on. Do you do anything for it? That's at 1 o'clock. Is that happening? Okay, thank you.
That takes a village, people. It takes a village to make the announcements. That's like, it's my. The Seder is the first Seder is a week from Monday, so a week from Sunday is the kitchen. That's probably that's. To, so is that why you're coming, Steve? I'm so glad you guys follow all the news. That's so great. Not just like the news, but the CRC news. It's good. But yes, thank you. It's appreciated, and it affirms, that we're doing something right here. If people really are that clued in, so we appreciate that. So we do want to as always, transition to, the near ending of the service. Always is remembrance. Is time for Zachor, for remembering those people we've loved and lost, those people whose shoulders we stand upon. And so I want to ask if there's anyone here who's remembering a loved one, either on their yahrzeit, the anniversary of their passing, or if you are in your year of mourning. We have this sort of period of the most intense mourning. First, there's the 7-day Shiva, the 30-day Shloshim, and then the year where people say Kaddish whenever they can for the year. So please stand if you're wanting to say Kaddish for a loved one. We want to recognize you as a mourner and hear the people who you're remembering, so we'll start here.
My husband's grandparents, Carol and John Wood.
We remember them. Thank you. Carl. For Sue. Zikrona Livracha. Has it? Yeah. Well, I can picture her, right? I really just can, Carol. I know you can. Love you, Carl. Stephanie. For Roger Goldman, a blessed memory, husband and father and grandfather, and really the with you, Stephanie, and an amazing group of people who kind of brought this place to life. So we remember him with you. And Susan. For Ralph. Oh my. We remember them. Yeah. For Ralph. That was a wonderful service. I feel. Did you learn new things about Ralph? Yeah, and you knew him really well. Yeah, I really did. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Joe, for observing those yard sites. I have it written down. Joy Littman Ward, right? Your mother, and then William Littman, your grandfather. May their memories be a blessing, right? Yes, Felice. So sorry for your loss. Our sympathy to the family. Thank you. And Karen. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. What denomination? Catholic. Self-marginalized. Well, sounds like someone we'd get along with. So, yeah. Thank you. Did I miss anybody? Michael, names from the stream?
Yes, we're remembering Jane Conklin, Maurice Varon, Janice Garbayo, Suzanne Mondello, Joan Butcher, Roxanne Holloway, and Jerry Livingston, Doris Weiner, and Jacob R.
Thank you. And now let's have everyone that's able to please stand with our mourners so they can feel our presence, but also because we're standing for all those that we're remembering as a congregation. So I want to read some names. First, the yard sites that we're observing this weekend. Teresa Brumley and Jenny Gravier, Orietta Cohn, Marilyn Wolf, Susan Carol Rose, Regina Barton, Cecilia Hoover, Evelyn Ornstein, that's Joy Lieberman's mom, Dolores Padditz Silverberg, that's Denise Bogart's aunt and obviously a relative of Rabbi Daniel, Michael Smith, I remember Michael, and Rebecca Tamsky, Morris Tamsky's mother, who I'm sure was Cuban from Cuba because Morris was born in Cuba, John Kepler, wonderful John, a member of this congregation, a great practitioner of meditation. This is his yard site. Robert Koshner and Janet Yampolsky. Joseph Mazeo, Avi's grandfather. It's Moisey Shopper's first yard site. Wonderful Dr. Moisey Shopper, Bunny's husband, and just a really amazing healer, Moisey. Sidney Vygotsky, Merle Freed's father, thinking about the Freeds. Lorraine Greenbolt, and upcoming are the yard sites of Alan Goldman and Ben Kyle, Renee Morency, Sr., and one of Rabbi Susan's aunts, Molly Talvey. And then recent deaths include Rhonda Banford, and Philip Needleman, and Ralph Wafer, and Rosalind Gross Rosenthal, and Ernest Nicholson, and Barry Chapnick, and Marilyn McLaughlin, and Mel Spiegelglass, and Marilyn Fox, Arthur Levine and Eileen Ehrlich, Hank Davenport and Ellen Jean Vickery, Rick Isserman and Geraldine Schiller, and Shirley Londy and Myra Levine, and Myra is Scott's mom and Charlie's grandma, Charlie who's going to be bar mitzvah tomorrow. Gina Rotman, Judy Wigder Crivet, Yakir Hexter, the grandson of Chris and Shelley, who was in the IDF and died in battle. Rose Waldman and Carol Liebson, Miriam Weintraub and Barry Friedman, June Cohen, Marshall's mother, Dennis Epstein and Jeff Jappa, Alex Bornstein, Mindy Berkowitz's brother, and Emil Nathan, Edward List, and Marlene Eisenstein, who was at almost every service that you'd come to at CRC, and we miss her very much. And there's Roger's name, Roger Goldman, and Morton Ornstein, and Gary Morris, Margie Weissman's father, and Sarah Kessler, and Andy Pultman, Brian's brother. Susan Hockman, and that's Ben's aunt, and Ben right now is being inducted into the Clayton High School Hall of Fame. Ben Hockman. So we know that his family is there, but they also are marking, thinking about Susan Hockman. Tovia Siegel, Sarah's mother, Hilda Polsky, my mom, Linda Randall, Josephine Francis Del Priori, and Matt Blickenstaff, a wonderful young man who died too young. And there's Sue Smith, Carl's wife. You're right, the yahrzeit coming up just in a few weeks. And it's also the yahrzeit of Stephanie Buchler, we've been saying Kaddish for all year. That's Toby Epstein's sister. So for all of those people, and for all the people that we think of when we say this mourner's prayer, for people who have no one to say Kaddish for them, for people who died in wars and violence that could be reduced so that there's fewer of those kinds of deaths, we hold all of that, and we hold all of their names and their memories and their stories and our relationship with them as we say these words on pages 41 and 42. Kaddish Yitom, our mourner's Kaddish, we say. Yit Kadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabba Be'alma Divra Kirute v'yamlich Malchute V'chaye Echon u'v'yom Echon u'v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael v'agalal v'zman kari v'emru Amen Yehei Shemei Rabba Mevarach le'olam Omei Almaya Yit Barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal Shemei d'kudesha b'richu Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma ve'imru amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Say shalom b'mroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al chol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen, amen. And Zikronam Levrcha, may their memories all be a blessing. It is a blessing also to share this time with all of you. So this is how we kind of end things on Friday night. We put our arms around each other. We do our closing blessing. I do want to let the folks from St. Paul's know that get a bite to eat, and then we can have a little conversation in here before you guys go home. Back to Lebanon. How far is it to Lebanon? 30 minutes. Oh, you're right there. So even though it's in Illinois, it's that close. That's astounding to me. So, I've never heard of such a thing. So glad you guys came to be with us. So glad, so glad everybody made their way here. So we'll do the blessing, and then I'll pick up my guitar again, and I'll sing us out into the Oneg room, where if you want to join us, gather in the circle, and we'll do the blessing, the kiddush and the motzi, and then there's some snacks and treats for everyone if you want to stay and extend the Shabbat night and connect with each other. That would be lovely. So first, this blessing also from the Torah, same Torah that brought us the Shema and our teachings and our prayers, many of our prayers. We say this blessing that's filled with words of peace and love to one another and to the world. We say, Yivrechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you, each and every single one of you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May all that light, the light from the outside world, the natural world, but even when the light is eclipsed for a moment, we still see and feel the love that shines from one another. So I hope you feel that light and that love and let it warm you up and comfort you in times of need. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may we all be blessed with the greatest gift of all, the gift of shalom, of peace and wholeness, all of those good, godly qualities that we deserve and that the world deserves, May we all be filled with peace so that we can go out and spread peace and light and love wherever we go. And let us say amen.
Amen.
And Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Key West. We have to go there together someday. I love Key West.